What's going on, guys? It's Delby here, and welcome back to another video here on my channel. And today, guys, we are going to be talking about Call of Duty World War II, and basically we're just going to be talking about whether or not World War II is actually living up to all the expectations it had prior to release, whether or not it's living up to all the hype that it had. Now, before I start the video, I do want to talk about a couple things. Number one, according to Twitter, a lot of people over on Twitter are saying that Infinite Warfare's Challenge Shuffle actually got more views than Call of Duty World War II. What I mean by this is more people went onto YouTube and watched videos and watched streams on Challenge Shuffle than they did with World War II. Now, I'm not 100% sure if this is accurate. I do not think this is true, but if it is, that is kind of sad. I mean, Infinite Warfare, we all know the success that IW had was not very good. So if Challenge Shuffle did get more views in World War II than the Final Reich did, that is kind of sad. I do think Challenge Shuffle is probably the worst map on IW for sure. The maps weren't really the best to begin with, but Challenge Shuffle was, in my opinion, the worst. So if this is the case, if Challenge Shuffle got more views in World War II, that's kind of sad. But again, this is Twitter, so you do never know. I don't think this is accurate, but if that's true, that's kind of sad. But basically, in this video, we're just going to be talking about World War II and whether or not it's living up to all the expectation it had prior to release. I do got to say one thing. The multiplayer actually caught me by surprise in a good way. I mean, this multiplayer is fucking amazing. Sorry for my language there. This multiplayer is actually like fantastic. Like, I went into World War II expecting the multiplayer to not really be my thing. I mean, I'm not really a multiplayer guy. I'm more of a zombies guy. So I went into World War II not really expecting the multiplayer to be that good. Played the beta, had a blast playing the beta, but I still, wasn't really expecting it to be that good, and I wasn't expecting to actually play it that much. But on release, I went into multiplayer, had my first match. I was playing War, and I sort of got hooked on the multiplayer. War, in my opinion, is by far the best game mode on World War II multiplayer. I am hooked on War. I am overall just hooked on the whole entire multiplayer. This caught me by surprise because I wasn't expecting this to happen, but I am just loving the multiplayer. This multiplayer is by far one of the best multiplayers in Call of Duty history. I know it's still early, and I know that we can't really judge that right now, but I am loving this multiplayer, and I do think the multiplayer is back now on Call of Duty with World War II. This is a fantastic multiplayer, and like I said before, I was not expecting to actually, be this crazy on multiplayer, but I am, and that's a good thing because I do miss good multiplayer, and this multiplayer on World War II is amazing. And zombies as well. I mean, I was going into zombies thinking, okay, we have the Final Reich here. All the hype for this map, everybody's all hyped for this map. This should be good, and I was expecting it to be good. Went into the Final Reich, and it was awesome. I mean, it was better than good. It was fantastic. Having a blast playing it. The casual Easter egg and the hard Easter egg are both super fun Easter eggs to do. And they're not really a pain in the ass to do as well, which is obviously very good. So overall, these two Easter eggs and the whole Final Reich map is good. I like how you turn power. I like how it's scary. Overall, a good map. Now, I wasn't expecting a second map. I was not expecting a second zombie map. But fortunately, Sledgehammer Games was fortunate enough to actually give us a second map. We got Graustein-Haus. Now, I do not know how to pronounce that. I probably butchered that. I still don't know how to pronounce that. But we got this challenge map named Graustein-Haus. And, it's the second map, which is fantastic. Now, this is only a challenge map, but I still have a fun time playing it. I've played Graustein-Haus pretty much just as much as I played the Final Reich. I mean, this challenge map is addicting. I'm hooked on it. I'm trying to get high rounds. My highest round is around 30. I'm trying to get past around 30. Unfortunately, right now, I'm having a hard time doing that, but I do think one time I will get it eventually. Hopefully, I get to 35, or hopefully I get to around 40, something like that. But Graustein-Haus is a great map, and I'm hooked on this challenge map. Final Reich, great as well. So overall, the multiplayer and the zombies are both crazy. So for me, Call of Duty World War II is exactly what I thought it was going to be. It's definitely living up to the hype, and it's definitely living up to all the expectations. Now, what about everybody else? There's people out there who are probably not too happy with this game, but for the most part, judging from what I see on Twitter and Instagram and all forms of social media, judging from what I see, everybody is loving this game, and this game is definitely living up to all the hype that it had prior to release, which is good because Infinite Warfare, there wasn't a lot of hype towards the multiplayer because, we saw the trailer and we saw it's going back to space and shit like that. No one really liked that. But the zombies, IW Zombies, there's a lot of hype to it. And unfortunately, it didn't do what we expected. It did not live up to any of the hype. So we were definitely hoping, the community, the Call of Duty community in general, was hoping that this game would live up to all the hype, and I do think it definitely is, and a lot of people out there as well think the same. I can see myself playing this game non-stop pretty much until the next Call of Duty game. The next Call of Duty game is going to be a Treyarch game, so that, you know, I just can't wait for that. That's going to be amazing. That's obviously so far away, but that's going to be a brilliant game, and I'm so hyped for that already. But I can see myself playing World War II until the next Treyarch game. I mean, the replay value so far on this game is good. I mean, I have not got bored of the multiplayer, campaign, or zombies one bit yet. Black Ops 3 was obviously a great game for multiplayer, and especially zombies. But I did find the replay value in Black Ops 3 not really good. I found Der Eisendrache had decent replay value. Like, I can play that for months and months and months. But other maps like Revelations, even Garad Krovi, and obviously Setsubo, these maps didn't really have good replay value, which kind of sucked. They were good maps, but their replay value wasn't there. The Final Reich definitely has that replay value. Like, you can play that for a long time and not get bored of it. It's overall a great map, at least in my opinion, and I know a lot of other people's opinion as well. The replay value for the multiplayer campaign and zombies is definitely there. The one problem I do have with this game is the multiplayer maps. Like I said before, I'm loving multiplayer, but the maps are kind of iffy. I'm not a big fan of the maps. You know, some of the maps are decent, but for the most part, they're all not really great. I hope in the DLCs we get better maps. Like, they're not terrible maps, but the maps could be better. There's some maps in there that are just awful. So the maps could definitely be better, but that's not really a big deal because I'm still loving the multiplayer. I definitely think that Call of Duty World War II is definitely living up to all the hype and all the expectation it had prior to release, and I do think the replay value is there. I do think we'll be playing this game throughout the whole entire season, not ever get bored of it, and I do think that Call of Duty is back with World War II. Sledgehammer Games did a phenomenal job on this game. I'm so happy this game is good. I'm so happy this game lived up to the hype, and this is going to be a great game. It's going to be a great season as well. And immediately after the season, we're getting a Treyarch Call of Duty. So, I mean, Call of Duty is looking good now due to World War II. So, overall, World War II, 10 out of 10, definitely lived up to the hype. So, that's going to be it for the video, guys. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys are having a blast playing this game. I am 100%. I am having a blast playing this game. But let me know in the comments if you guys are loving this game. And let me know if you guys think that this game is living up to all the hype it had prior to release. Anyways, guys, I'm Delby, and I'll see you guys in the next one.